All right, the date is September 1st, 2020. It is 6:41 in the evening. This is Justin. I'm here at J2 Fab. What this video is going to be is it's going to serve as some documentation. What we have here is core number 0015, and then core number 2. It is worth noting that the serial numbers don't really matter a whole lot, because after Bell started doing warranty work and cutting our tanks off of defective units and welding them back onto other units, serial numbers got mixed up. A indication of that would be, for instance, if you look at the cores, you can see these two intercooler cores right here that are complete are two different styles. This is what is referred to as a 125-250. This is a 0830. The 0830s were not done until what you could call revision 3, I guess. And something that needs to be defined in the revisions is that the revisions, they're not revisions as you would think, where they're like a complete redesign. It should be called warranty 1, warranty 2, warranty 3. The first cores that got built were 125-250. So this tank set was originally on a 125-250. It's now on an 0830, which means this tank set's been recycled 1 or possibly 2 times, probably 2 times. There's no way for me to know. But just to clarify that, this core here that is untouched is an 0830 core. And then this core here is what would be called a warranty 1, or a revision 2, whatever you want to call it. And that is evident by the fact that there is an orange seal inside. I'm going to preface this by saying in the description of the video I will include 2 links. What those links are going to be for are videos that are already on the J2 Fab Facebook page. Video 1 you will see will have an update, or excuse me, an upload date of, I believe, April 14th, maybe 15th, somewhere in there. And then the second video will have an upload date of July 7th. These videos have been uploaded and on my YouTube page since that time, but they've been unlisted. The reason they were unlisted is because they were uploaded and then shared to Bell intercoolers and any other parties that needed to be aware of this. I didn't make them public. What the videos will show that you're going to look at is how I discovered what the mode of failure in these units are. So it shows as far back as April that I made Bell aware of what the mode of failure was, and as far forward as July, they were still pumping out intercoolers with that mode of failure. I'm going to do a little prefacing by saying I discovered this mode of failure purely, I don't know if I'd say by chance, but out of, I couldn't figure out what could possibly be making these cores act the way that they were acting. There was nothing else that made sense. So I was doing everything that I could in-house to try to make sense of these cores literally not working. And that's how I discovered that they were leaking in between the passes in video 1, the video that was uploaded back in April. At that time when I issued the recall, if you were to look at my language in the recall letter, you will see that I was under the impression that the dividers, the horizontal dividers, were brazed in. That is the impression that Bell Intercoolers had me under. So what that means is that it was my impression that when this core was split horizontally like this, that it had these same bars right here that you see here installed in the same fashion, brazed in as they are as end caps. I thought I would have another row of those. That was the impression I was under. That was the language that was used. That was the language I used each and every time that I spoke to the engineer at Bell that was working with me. It was not until July 8th that I discovered that Bell was not actually brazing bars in. Instead, what I discovered that they were doing is they were taking, quite literally, welding filler rod and just shoving it through the turbulators. When I confronted the engineer at Bell about this, he tried kind of dressing it up a little bit, like, oh, it's not really that simple. But yes, it really is that simple. And when I asked him how he could be sure that that's sealing the entire 12-inch length of the core, because I cannot rationalize how that works, he assured me this is something that they've done in the past. But as time went on and I asked more questions, it was clear that this was not a tested method. Not only was it not a tested method, after I made them aware that they were in fact leaking as far back as April from the first batch, they kicked out dozens more intercoolers to my customers, you guys, this way, after promising me that they'd went through each and every one and they were sure that they were not leaking between the passes. So what we're going to do in this video today, something I have not done yet, I have never pulled one of these cores apart. I have left every single intercooler intact. I've never cut one apart. I've never done anything of that nature, purely because I wanted to keep the warranty intact. But given my post that I made on Instagram the other day and the gravity of the situation, you know, as it is, it kind of doesn't matter. And I need to do my own discovery at this point, because Bell basically has given me no reason to trust their work. So what I intend on doing today is I'm going to, and I don't know how well it's going to go because I haven't done it before, but I think if I make a slow cut, I can probably cut this core in half in the bandsaw. I'm going to cut it and partition it, and we're going to see exactly what's being used to split these cores and how well it's affixed in there, you know, if it is in fact pressed. I'm interested to find out how tight it is. And the other thing, you know, that I explained to them is, you know, there's a tolerance that's held through these turbulators all the way down. I mean, this is not a machine tolerance. Something that's watertight like that, particularly under pressure, needs to be a machine tolerance if you're metal on metal. Not only is this not held to a machine tolerance, you're talking about welding filler wire, which I will take a set of, once I extract what's in there, I will take my calipers and I will show you, not only is it not even concentric, it's not going to be the same thickness, you know, if I were to grab it several, you know, it's going to change by as much as 2 thou all the way down. And that's because these don't need to hold any type of tight tolerance. They're not held to a tolerance. It's meant to be melted. Very poor method of choice to use to create a watertight seal. So let's get started. I'm going to cut this core first, being these are the first cores that this was done with. Okay, so let me go wash this up. I'll keep that in frame right there, just for sake of not being accused of tampering with anything. I'll leave that right there while I get some water. Alright, so get some fresh water. Let's clean that guy off. See what we find. So we can clearly see that it is what appears to be welding wire in there. We can also see pretty plainly it's not even straight. You know, some of those are, I mean, from that one to that one is the entire width of wire apart. Okay, so I believe that these are captured into this side at least by being welded into the face. Let me see if they're welded into the rear face. And if they are in fact captured and welded into this rear face, we will cut another section. Those are too fat. They don't even fit in there. I mean, you can see right there how loose those are just from grabbing it. It does appear to be welded in the back end, but you can see the side-to-side play, the up and down play. It's the first thing I noticed grabbing it with these pliers. Look at that, up and down, side to side. Not even remotely pressed in, but they must be welded in the back end because I can't pull them through. We're going to confirm that though by moving this guy up another section. We are going to chop the middle portion out and see if I can simply yank them out. I'm betting I can. Got this middle section cut. Let me grab something to wipe my hands here so we can work on the table. We're also going to clean all this cutting fluid and debris out and off. Okay, so here is what we are interested in seeing. So you can see the wires. I mean, you can see visually the wires are not touching the sides at all. There's no positive seal. What I'm interested in knowing is, oh, wow, that's a really good press fit there. Where's the other ones? You know, because I got told several times these are press fit. Oh, wow. Let's see how easy they would do. Oh, look at this. I mean, are you kidding me? This is the watertight, pressure tested press fit. Look at this. Look at this. That is what is dividing your cores, ladies and gentlemen. This is the specialized process that was used. And this is why I cut the cores in half. To show you. No words. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. I cannot tell you how sorry I am that I put my faith into a company, that I put my name and I put your guys' money into their hands, and I allowed them to supply you guys with something like this. And I will do everything in my power to make this right. That's it for now. I have no other words. This is disgusting.